Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Let's take another look here at Chainlink, see what's going on. This is a request from one of my community members here, Riven. Thank you so much for the request. Definitely appreciate that, because again, a lot of folks are curious right now with our Chainlink long if we should leave it open, what's going on. Truth is, we did secure profits on majority of that trade. We're about 20% profit there. We're roughly about a 3-day trade, so not the greatest, but we had to average in and effectively adjust our take profit target. So if you didn't do that, I'm going to talk to you here a little bit more today about potential for further upside or downside and just areas of invalidation. Bitcoin long too, 30% there, roughly 29, with an average position at 103.7, and we got out at 106.750. Okay, so again, good stuff here, but a lot of our trades right now are kind of like wonky to kind of quickly describe it, because a lot of them were taken with confirmation. Bitcoin sold off very heavy, roughly 24 to 48 hours ago. A lot of coins hit the real reset button, but held on their support. So Chainlink was one of those. It's actually still looking pretty decent. Again, as per usual, I always provide updates in our community, so make sure you tune into that. But at this point, this is a little bit more of a detailed breakdown. Okay, so we'll take a look here. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance. Deeply appreciate it. Helps grow the channel, gets us in front of more people, and obviously, less moon boys getting the views. They'll still always get them because they're going to tell you what you want to hear, but I'll be pretty abstract. And if you're kind of new to the channel, I really just like to use, the data that's provided to us is here for a reason, okay? And again, if you're going to take an emotional bias and be all passionate about a coin, that's all well and good, but if you let that influence your trading, it's actually really bad. So really, I just like to kind of pick up on probabilities or improbabilities that kind of let us know where we're at. Okay, so let's take a quick look at liquidation first. This helps us understand the merit of moving in either direction. Okay, and as we're starting to see here, we're more long biased in a lot of ways, right? We can see first of all, liquidation delta is more people taking longs than shorts. You generally don't want to be in the momentum of the trend. Okay. However, you got to recognize too that there's a lot of liquidation here. Unfortunately, there's kind of like medium leverage longs here at about 23.50 as a close approximate. So we lose 24, I think it was 24.30. I'll show you on the charts here soon. Then I would say that lower liquidation level is potentially a reality. But we can see here that Chainlink is responding well to Bitcoin's sideways price action. And even though it had pulled back, it didn't pull back monumentally, right? Allowed us to average in, get out of our trade, at least a portion of our trade rather. And for those who are still in, the likelihood of further upside makes sense. But once more, you got to recognize here, $23.50, $22, those are heavy concentrations of liquidation, okay? And just know, if it wasn't for those heavy liquidation people, in other words, 50x, 100x leverage, whatever the case, when they're using high leverage, they're incentivizing the whales to push the price in that direction, okay? So thanks a lot, high leverage idiots, for the price action kind of moving in either direction. It's good and bad depending on how you look at it, right? But unfortunately, the more people using more leverage, the more likely we are to see that level retested. All that being said, open interest, this is a good little saving grace here for us, and I don't really like to attach myself to anything like this, but for the most part, when you see open interest, it's super helpful to know where everyone is hedged, right? And we see the most amount of people buying in at 24.50. Okay, so that's like the average price. So that's another reason why an invalidation just below that level for a daily candlestick closure makes sense, because obviously there's a bit of a cliff here once you drop below that level. But a lot of support there, reinforcing that 25 at 24.50 are two areas that people are heaviest right now, okay? And that reinforces support in those ranges. All right, taking a look here, daily time frame. Let's quickly note here, first of all, we got previous highs, roughly $26 is that point of contention. While we did close above it for 24 hours, we need to be able to maintain above it, okay? So a closure of 26 or higher would be super, super impactful. We'd be above the golden pocket, we'd be above the local resistance range, and a lot of reasons why it's just going to be super helpful to see that, okay? We also have a lot of liquidation above the price. Granted, this is dated. I think some of those shorts maybe have squeezed out or essentially closed, but there's still a bit of liquidation above us, right? All that being said, we're over 50 on the RSI. Stochastic is swinging down, roughly the second attempt to swing down, but you got to realize we're pretty well range bound. Bitcoin is exuding the same behavior. It's in a good range. Oftentimes, stochastic will give you false positives in those ranges. Let it cool down. Let the stochastic RSI come down closer to 50, and we'll probably see a nice little push to the upside. Between now and then, money flow index is high. We're seeing a lot more volume flowing into this coin. Keep in mind, MFI is high because of these two volume candles from 7 days ago. or 6 to 7 days ago, but it's still beneficial, letting us know sustainability, right? Because if a lot of people got in at 24.50, the likelihood of holding this level will come back down to that to retest it is high. It's already proven 2 or 3 days so far here this week that that level is here to stay. Okay, so again, good little range. And outside this ascending triangle too, you could even argue this is a bullish rectangle as well, right? Because again, rectangles, triangles, they perform very similarly in a lot of ways. The reason why they're beneficial though is because they derive from the downside and they're more likely to break to the upside. Because what we're doing right here is we keep retesting these resistance range, and the bears are getting weaker and weaker, and the bulls are getting stronger and stronger and pushing the price action higher with higher lows. Okay, that's generally a favorable sign. So just things to kind of look for. While it's never perfect, it's beneficial to see that. We're right here at 50 on the RSI. While this is neither good nor bad, it's kind of averaging itself out here. So I don't tend to like to take longs in this area just because it's kind of not really sure what it wants to do. We're over 50 on the RSI, or right there at it rather. Money flow index is fairly high, which is good. We want sustainability. Even though volume is generally lower, this last 14 candles are better than the previous 14 as far as the average amount of momentum to the upside. So that's generally a good sign. Hourly time frame, this is probably gonna look pretty ugly just based on us being kind of tight within a range. Oftentimes ranges will explode in a lot of ways, in a lot of good ways. So the likelihood again is higher, the price goes higher because of that. But if we take a look here, again, it's hard to kind of see, of course, but take it from me, lagging span is soon to intersect, shifting that momentum. Conversion line is below the baseline, showing we have momentum on the downside. Big surprise with this guy here. And then, of course, last but not least, we're still below / within the cloud. So this is not really an ideal scenario to consider a trade. Okay? It's a simple way to understand it. You already have a trade open. I don't see a problem in holding it open and considering an invalidation of 224, roughly about 24.35, 24.40. Because we know, again, based on the data here, 24.50, heavy amount of support. We got a decent amount of liquidation below us. So once again, if we lose 24 as a just solid, easy round number to remember, then the further downside makes sense, right? But again, it's local high, new low. There's a lot of reasons why this area here is holding and here to stay, all right? Cool, that's what we got. Hopefully that made sense. Future reference, if you are newer or perhaps you haven't been watching for a while, I do have a Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I always post our playout charts here. It's available for you there. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. If you are part of our community and you're enjoying the signals, whatever, continue to do so. Thank you so much for the excellent feedback. But make sure you read through my trade alerts. These are just kind of like heads up on coins I'm planning to take trades with. For example, Avalanche, there's a lot of liquidation. The price action is more likely to go higher. It's in a pretty good position right now, moving up. We're in profit on our long. But just know that I kind of give you heads up on coins I'm planning to take trades with, right? That's all there for you. And please, by everything that is good in life, read through my signals guide. Make sure you know specifically how to structure your trades a little more effectively, and don't just be like blindly taking every trade that I take. It's really dumb to do that. Use your own risk tolerance and build on that. Make it work. That's how it has to work out. Don't ever piggyback off anybody else. While I might have good considerations for entry, my risk tolerance doesn't always meet what your risk tolerance is, right? They're going to speak different languages. Develop what works best for you, okay? All right, that's all for you there. Hopefully this will empower you to be a better trader. Have a good rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks again so much for your time. We'll see you again shortly. Take care. Bye-bye.